With this week being the Senate confirmation hearings for Trump's cabinet picks, I thought we could make it all about them, at least for now, right? As we covered Pam Bondi yesterday, today I wanted to discuss Matt Whitaker, Trump's pick for NATO ambassador, especially as it comes out that Trump wasn't even vetting his picks. He passed up the usual FBI background check that is considered standard, and his transition team wasn't even looking into or vetting the background. So let's see what we can find.
The job he's up for is NATO ambassador. Well, does he have any experience in being an ambassador? No. Of being any kind of diplomat? No. Of having anything to do with diplomacy in any way? No. Anything related to foreign policy? No. Anything foreign at all? No. No, 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 and no. NATO is a military alliance, though, so perhaps he was chosen for his military experience? No, he also has no military experience whatsoever. So that's basically a clean sweep. There is nothing at all in his professional, personal, or life experience to suggest that he has any qualifications whatsoever for this big and important job.
It's almost comical if it wasn't just sad that he was given such a consequential position. Like, this is the rap sheet that MAGA envisions or assumes that black people have when they call them DEI hires. Like, down the list of things that can make you qualified, all no. Even things that are like not really directly qualified, but maybe you could make the argument, still no. But he's white, of course, so that's his merit, and it'll never be questioned by MAGA. He's someone who lost a couple elections running for Senate, was briefly an attorney, and then Trump tried to unconstitutionally thrust him into being the attorney general, largely because he wanted to prosecute Hillary after Jeff Sessions resigned, probably because he wanted to go after Hillary, which was blocked as he wasn't confirmed by the Senate and it's unconstitutional. And he believes things such as Marbury v. Madison should be overturned, which allows courts to strike down laws that are unconstitutional. He thinks courts should have a biblical view of justice and suggested he would disqualify non-Christian judges. He's against Obamacare, same-sex marriage, and doesn't believe in climate change. But again, the most crucial, no experience or qualifications whatsoever to the role Trump appointed him for.
Matthew Whitaker, former U.S. attorney from Iowa. Matthew Whitaker appeared in promotional materials for World Patent Marketing. He was mentioned by name in the scripts the company used to recruit its next customers. Matthew Whitaker even himself wrote this email threatening that there might be serious criminal consequences if this particular unhappy customer went ahead with his plans to file a complaint about World Patent Marketing with the Better Business Bureau. Needless to say, it is not a crime to complain to the Better Business Bureau, but it can be a criminal matter to defraud people of their life savings while promising to market their inventions when instead you're just pocketing their money. And the scam big ding-a-ling toilet time travel company that paid Matt Whitaker to be on their advisory board. That company was the subject of a federal criminal investigation by the FBI. It had its offices raided by federal agents, and it was ultimately shut down by a federal judge in order to pay more than $20 million.
It's insane how this is a consistent pattern you see in Trump's cabinet. It's either they're a billionaire or they indulged in scams. We learned of scams that Pam Bondi took part in yesterday, now Matt Whitaker. While not the owner, as Rachel showed, he did, however, write an email pressuring someone who was going to complain that they would be in civil and criminal trouble. That's effectively threatening them, right? And complaining to the Better Business Bureau isn't a civil or criminal offense. So he's just lying and using his position of seemingly authority or power to do so. And it just shows the clear character and judgment of this man that he would be involved in a scam, go as far to pressure those who are catching on and the victims of this scam, and then even be used in promotional material. But hey, I mean, that definitely qualifies him to sit in the U.S. seat at NATO hearings and meetings and to speak on behalf of the country for the most consequential military alliance ever created, right? Like, I mean, the fact that no NATO country is in war speaks for itself to the critical nature of NATO.
Matt Whitaker became the head of a mysterious advocacy group funded almost entirely by undisclosed donors. He was also a paid commentator on CNN. Whereupon he came to the attention of the Trump administration for criticizing the Mueller investigation, for endorsing the criminal prosecution of Hillary Clinton, for something email, something Russia, something. It was never quite clear what the crime was, but definitely prosecute her. That performance from Matt Whitaker was enough to get him his out-of-the-blue appointment to be chief of staff to the Attorney General in Trump's U.S. Justice Department, Once he was there, Whitaker had to revise his financial disclosure forms 5 different times. Once he was there, Matt Whitaker reportedly advised the Trump White House on how they really could get Hillary Clinton prosecuted somehow, or at least criminally investigated somehow for something.
Another consistent pattern we see across Trump picks. Trump seems to only be appointing people who supported or pushed for him in his conquest to prosecute his political opponents and enemies in his first term. The party whose voters cried wolf and pretended it was a grave injustice just because they made up an entire fantasy that this was happening to Donald Trump, supported it when he did it the first time, and then supports him picking people and setting up to do it again this time. It was all just a ruse. Hilariously, after naming Matt Whitaker acting AG and the reports from his scams and such went public, Trump said, "I don't even know Matt Whitaker," seemingly stating that he appointed a man to head the Department of Justice that he doesn't even know. So if you want to know about Trump's judgment with his picks, that's pretty much all you need to hear. Matt Whitaker is also famous before, the scams and everything for prosecuting the first openly gay state lawmaker, who happened to be a Democrat, where the jury decided in 90 minutes he was innocent. During those 90 minutes, the jury spent the majority of that time on lunch break. So they decided in like 30 minutes or less. And from all the reporting around the time, it was really clear that this was a partisan witch hunt, possibly predicated on the fact he was gay, definitely predicated on the fact he was a Democrat. So great character and judgment to be our voice in NATO, guys, right?